Hi, I am Sam from Bump to Baby Fitness and one half of Smash London. We are aiming to keep you strong in body and in mind. So as Bump to Baby Fitness, I'm doing online classes for pregnant ladies once a week. However, as Smash London, we are also doing 4 classes a week for anyone that wants to join. This video is aimed at the people that do want to join in but might not be able to do the whole class as it is. And I want to provide some alternatives to some of the exercises. So I'm specifically going to talk about pregnancy. However, it can be also suitable for postnatal ladies, for people with mobility issues, maybe elderly people, and if you're recovering from injury as well. All right. So most of my tips will be specific for pregnancy, but please do not get offended if someone has sent you this video. So my first and most important tip is to listen to your body at this time. The media has brainwashed us for years to tell us that we're supposed to look a certain way, that the scales are supposed to say a certain thing, and that we're supposed to train harder, faster, get stronger. The main thing right now is that you listen to your body and do what is right for you. So during lockdown especially, it's more important to really tune in to how your body is feeling. Only give any exercise what you can. So on that note, if you're joining in with one of our Smash classes, it might be that you have to rest during the workout. That is totally fine. We do try and give you alternatives as we go, but there are some certain classes where maybe we're doing 4 minutes of work back to back, and it might be that you choose to do part of that workout. So tip number 2, with tip number 1 in mind, they do say that if you were training before pregnancy, you can continue with that intensity after you get pregnant. So it is totally fine to train while you're pregnant, and it's fine to carry on as you were, just with a few tweaks. So like I said, listen to your body first of all. Secondly, in the first trimester, you can pretty much do the same as what you were doing. It might be that you're a little more tired. As you get to the second and third trimesters, lots of changes are going on. You'll feel slightly different, and this is where you need to take a little bit more care. These are some of the alternatives that you can do. So when it comes to impact, you are still fine to add a little bit of impact to your routine. It might be that you prefer not to, and especially as you get bigger, you definitely don't want to do as much. So one way to combat the impact is to bring it down. So we always say that to anyone, bring it down if you need to. For example, squat jumps, instead just take it to a squat. Jacks, you can take it to half jacks. It might be that you still want that intensity that comes from a jumping move. That's where weights can come in. So when everyone else is jumping around, maybe you're doing squats with the weights. Maybe you're doing your half jacks with them as well. Relaxing enters the body. That is where your joints get a little bit softer, and that stays in the body actually for sometimes up to a year after pregnancy as well. So this is where you should avoid any fast changing movements. So any sort of agility where, for example, we're doing skaters side to side nice and quickly, take it down a little bit. You can still get a really good workout by just reducing that speed and reducing that impact. Your blood pressure could be affected by a lot of overhead stuff. So if we're doing things like shoulder presses, it might be that it's safer to just do a halfway press or to do it seated, where we're maybe doing single arms instead of double arms. So anything overhead, just be a little cautious of. It might be that your body is fine with it, but it's something to be aware of. Same goes for any holds. So if we're doing a squat hold, or if we're doing a plank hold, it really raises the blood pressure. It is something that is best avoided if you can. So you can change that by adding a little bob into it. And if you're doing the plank, it might be that you're doing step side to side, or you're doing it from a surface like a chair, making sure it's not going to move like my chair is. So there's certain exercises that we do on the floor, for example, press-ups, mountain climbers, and ab work, that you might be better off doing from a raised surface. So you can do it via the sofa, you can do it on a chair like this, where you're more elevated. If you don't have a surface that you can elevate yourself from, or if you've got any wrist issues, there are some of my favourite adaptations that you can make to that. So my favourite burpee one, and I know Ash has a slightly different one, You're bending, touching the toes, and then you come into a jack, clapping the hands above the head, all right? Ash's version is more of a slam dunk. So both of them are still full body moves. You're getting arms involved, you're getting the legs involved, and a little bit of core. Mountain climbers, hands can be down, and you're bringing the knees in, but a little slower. One of my favourites to do instead is just a ladder climb. And if we're doing very high impact stuff like tuck jumps, or if we're doing thrusters in that plank position, a really good one to do that's really going to target the core is anything where you're bringing the knee up and the elbow to knee. Press ups, my favourite. It might be that they're quite tricky to do the bigger you get. These can be something that you do on the wall instead, or with your weight or bands, you can just press out while standing. Some of these adaptations will hit the body in a slightly different way, and that is totally fine. We don't want to be spending too much time laying on our backs or on our fronts. So it might be that you're doing standing core instead. So a few exercises that you could do include, instead of a crunch, doing some sort of knee crunches with or without a weight, or a side to side kind of crunch, all right? Same you can do on the chair, where you're leaning back and sitting up, again with or without a weight. For example, things like the bicycle, side to side. So our smash classes are different every time. The main reason for that is to strengthen your mind as much as your body. What it does mean when you are pregnant or if you have any mobility issues is that it's a bit tricky to judge how hard you should go. However, my biggest tip is to just take the first round slowly, and then you get to know, okay, this is the sort of thing that they're doing today. You can still get involved with the challenges that we're setting you, but try and drown out the voice in your head that's telling you that you have to go as hard as anyone else, or as hard as maybe what you could have done a few weeks ago. That is what Smash is all about. Never compare yourself to anybody. As with any of our classes, the best thing you can do is contact us if you do have any worries or any niggles that you want to talk through for specific adaptations for you. You're always welcome to even message us just before the class to find out, okay, what is the class going to be today? With the Zoom classes, you have the option to keep the camera off, and with the bump to baby classes, it's automatically off, so you have to physically put it on. With so many people on a small screen, it means that we can't check in on every single one of you as well as we might do in a one-to-one situation. So this is why it's so important to listen to yourself. And if you do have any queries, or if you're doing any moves that you're not sure about, maybe take it down and change it for a move that you are sure about, and then ask us about it later on, so that next time you're fully equipped for what we've got in store for you. So they are just a few ideas that you can have to adapt your workout. Enjoy, do what you can, maybe try some of our videos and see how well you get on. Thank you so much. See you later.